All right, everybody. This is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. This is going to be our reading lesson for today. We've been talking about voting. We read a little story in our workbook yesterday. We're going to read the story in our big book today. So we're talking about voting, and the main skill we're working on is author's perspective, their point of view. How do they feel? What's their opinion about something? And then do I agree with the author or do I disagree? So that's kind of our main focus today. So it says, click on the blue letters, the link to watch this YouTube video. This is just a picture, so you'll have to click on this link to watch the actual video.
Typically, when authors write, they have a point of view or perspective that they are writing from, and everybody is different. So if Bob was to write something and you were to write something about the exact same topic, it's not going to sound exactly the same because you and Bob probably have different opinions and ideas about what you want to get across to the reader. Let's say you and Bob are writing a paper about broccoli cupcakes. Bob may love them and think they are a great choice for dessert, the best dessert ever. You, however, may think they are disgusting and in no way should a vegetable ever be a dessert. An author's point of view can affect many different aspects of a text. It can affect the word choice or what words the author chooses to use to describe something. For example, with the broccoli cupcakes, Bob might use words such as wonderful, delicious, incredible, amazing. You, on the other hand, might use words such as revolting, disgusting, nasty, or gross. Point of view can also affect how the author chooses to organize something or the message that they are trying to get across to you. After all, what someone believes has a direct impact on how they write and what they want you to think. So an author and the way they view something definitely impacts the text in a number of ways.
All right. Go back to our PowerPoint here. So here's our point of view anchor chart. Okay, you can see a lot better on here than I could on my computer. So it's how the author feels about the topic. It's their opinions or belief. Okay, how they feel about it. Sometimes you can tell if the author is for or against something. You can identify that by looking at the problem, characters' actions, characters' feelings, and the language of the dialogue. Now, I don't know about you guys, but as I look at this anchor chart and I see characters' actions and characters' feelings, we've been talking a lot about that lately. Did that a lot with our characteristic traits when we talked about their wants and needs, their feelings, their actions, and then their trait. Well, look, it's coming up again because everything is connected. So even when we're talking about author's perspective, their point of view, we're thinking characters' actions, characters' feelings. And when I'm doing author's perspective, I use this sentence starter down here that says, I can tell the author of this book blank. I can tell the author of the book loves this, dislikes it, feels strongly, doesn't care about the topic. And then we add the text evidence. Remember, text evidence is the words we find in the text. I kind of struggled on that on our last test. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to read the story Vote. And we're only going to read from page 100 to page 105. Okay? The essential question, how do people make government work? Before you start reading, I want you to kind of ask yourself that question and think, how do people make government work? Well, and if you don't have an answer, ask the person next to you. How do people make government work? We're going to read about how a town chooses a new mayor. Okay, we're reading Vote by Eileen Cristolo. So this is in your big book. You're going to read this story, page 100 to 105. We're going to stop. So stop after you read 105 for today. We're just going to read a part of it. So you're going to read 100 to 105 today. And then in our reading response notebook, I guess I have it on the screen. In our reading response notebook, you're going to fill this out. So you're going to take your notebook, you're going to open it to a new page. You put vote on the top because that's our heading. Helps us remember what page we're on. And today's date, so September 9th, 2020. And how does the author feel about voting? How does the author feel about voting? That's the question I want you to put in that first box. And I want you to create a flow chart. We've done this a few times now. Remember, a flow chart just flows our information from top to bottom. And after you've read pages 100 and 105, I want you to go back in the story and tell me, how does the author feel about voting and why? Don't just say they feel good about it. No, give me how they feel and then why. What are your examples? What's your text evidence that tells me that that's how they feel? Okay, what's your text evidence that tells me how you feel? We'll do a homework check on Thursday, so make sure you do this before Thursday's class so that you can do it pretty easily. And then we're going to work on our vocabulary. So you have a couple of things for homework. You have that reading page, that what we just did, your reading journal. And then you're going to do your vocabulary words on page 110 and 111 of your Unit 1 and Unit 2 reading workbook, the book that folds. So you'll fill out these 2 pages. And we talked about some of these vocabulary words yesterday when we listened to that interactive story. All right, grammar. Types of nouns. You're going to complete the noun assignment on Google Classroom. It is in the homework section. So yesterday we talked about common nouns and proper nouns, how common nouns are kind of our everyday people, places, things, and then proper nouns are special, where you give them capital letters. Well, now we're going to talk about concrete and abstract. Concrete and abstract. So a concrete noun names a person, place, or thing that can be seen or identified with any of our 5 senses. Remember, our 5 senses are smell, taste, see, hear, touch. So anything that can be seen or identified. So a star, a flower, music, sign, horn, wind. I can feel wind, salt. Okay, those are all concrete. Concrete means it's there. I can see it, I can touch it, I can feel it, I can smell it, I can hear it, it's there. An abstract noun is a bigger idea. It means name something that cannot be seen with the 5 senses. Abstract nouns usually name ideas like peace, honor, courage, friendship, honesty. So you're going to have a Google Classroom assignment on your in your homework section to complete today. We'll go over that before we end this video. That's it from there. Good. So now we'll go. I'm not sure if I've uploaded all those things yet, but let's see if I have. Let's go to third grade reading. Before we do that, look, we have a message. Remember I told you I'll start putting messages in the stream. Be sure to read those. I'm going to edit this because as I was going on this morning, I noticed lots of y'all did not watch the video. So we'll say, watch the video. Really important. Be sure to scroll down to the vote section and find all your classroom resources for tomorrow. It is named Wednesday, 9/9/20, Classroom Resources. In it, you will find the reading lesson video for the day, the PowerPoint resources, and an exit ticket that you need to complete after watching the lesson. Homework. You will complete an activity in your reading notebook. It will be modeled and explained on the reading lesson, and read for 30 minutes. I will create a reading log. Let me add these other things. You will complete your vocabulary page, pages 110, 111, in your reading workbook, and a grammar, put nouns in parentheses, grammar assignment on Google Classroom. When I go to classwork, yep, I have not put those assignments in there yet. You'll see there is where your vote resources are, underneath the story vote, and then your homework will be underneath the homework assignment that says Wednesday, 9/9/20. Right? The other thing I want to show you is your writing. You don't have any new assignments in writing because you're supposed to be working on that Foursquare, but it's going to be really hard for y'all to work on that Foursquare if you didn't watch the video. And I only had about 3 views on my video. So that means a lot of us have not watched it. A lot of us have not watched it. And you don't have to watch it so you know what you're doing. Okay? You have to watch it so you know what you're doing. So make sure you watch that video. You might have to go back and fix your Foursquare. Watch that video and have your Foursquare due for class on Thursday. Good luck, guys. See you in a little bit.